Good morning. This is September 21st. We don't say 21, we say 21st. We don't say 22, we say 22nd. We never say 23, we say 23rd. When we talk about dates, we use first, second, third, fourth, like that. Let me tie my shikha first. We call this shikha. And we Brahmins keep it as part of our cultural practices. Okay. So I said someone will tell us what we did in the previous class. Who is willing to tell us? You can stand there and tell us. Anybody? Who is willing to tell us? Okay. You can consult your copy and just tell what we did in the previous class. Go on. You keep it there, your voice will be recorded. Go on. What did we do in the previous class?
In the previous class, we learned about...
You learned about what?
Revised Bloom's taxonomy theory.
Bloom's taxonomy theory about the objectives of learning.
Yeah.
Fine. What else did we learn?
Summarizing.
She said we learned about Bloom's theory. What else did we in the previous two classes? Tell us one thing.
About academic writing.
Okay, we learned about academic writing. In the previous class, we had a 2-hour class, right? And we talked about academic writing. Okay, what is academic writing in your understanding?
Academic writing.
Yep. Tell it. What is academic? You just sit down and tell. No need to stand up. What is academic writing?
Academic writing is
The kind of writing done in schools and colleges.
applied resource.
Okay. Academic writing is the kind of writing that we do in schools and colleges. What kind of things do you write mostly in academic writing? What is the genre?
Research paper.
Research papers or research essays?
Reports.
We mostly write research essays in academic writing. Okay, that's what we talked about in the previous class. A quick reminder, let's move ahead. So today, in this class, I'm starting the first reading. Okay. As you can see, the first reading we have is Where Do We Stand? Okay. By Lisa Davis. So this essay is in the section titled Intercultural Communication. Whenever you, just a minute, let me open one more file. Oh. Wait a minute. Okay. There is slight difficulty. There is a technical difficulty. The screen is displayed only over there. It's not being displayed here. And he was not able to solve this difficulty. Let me check. Now see, it's locked. I cannot use my screen, right? And I cannot scroll up and down. Actually, the mouse should be on my laptop. Okay, it's there now. Let me see if I can do. Okay, leave it. I'll talk with the book. So, let's talk about how do we read. Because one objective of this course is to teach you how to read. So as you open to read something, you will see that every piece of reading comes with a context. Everything you read has a context. What do we mean by saying that every reading has a context? So you can see here is chapter 1 titled Intercultural Communication. So before you read the essay, you should pay attention to the chapter title to have a better idea what you can expect in the essay. And you should make sure that you understand the terms in the title. It's intercultural communication. So when you say intercultural, we mean people from one culture communicating with people from other culture. When you go in a foreign country, for example, countries which have people from around the world, then you might be an Asian, you are an Asian, and you might meet an Australian. So Australian people have a different way of life, Asians have different way of life, and when two people coming from two cultures come together and communicate, there can be issues and problems because we don't understand each other's values, belief system, behavior, body language, etc. For that reason, to make sure that you have easy time when you are in a multicultural setting, it's a good idea to learn about other cultures. That's the point. So intercultural means between and among more than one culture. Between and among more than one culture. Now communication is what? Communication is exchange of ideas. When you communicate, you exchange ideas. How do you exchange ideas? You exchange ideas by speaking to people. And as you speak, they respond to you, then you listen to them. You might also exchange ideas by writing something to people. You might write a note. And when you write, they read your note. Right? Besides this, sometimes you also get ideas by watching, seeing. So we exchange, we communicate through language, by listening to others, by speaking to them, by writing things to people, and by reading what others have written. Now what we did right now, we focused on the title. And we tried to understand what may be in the title. Now, we guess we will read about how people talk to one another, how people talk to one another in a multicultural setting. So the first thing you do is, suppose you're taking IELTS examination or TOEFL or PET or any examination reading test. So in your reading test, when you are given a piece of text to read and respond, answer, the first thing is you pay attention to the title and make sure that you clearly understand each word in the title. Now, in IELTS you don't get a picture, I guess, but here in your textbook you have a picture. This book was written, prepared for teaching academic reading, writing, and critical thinking, right? So what do you see here? You have a picture here. Why is this picture given? To warm up your ideas before you read. So you should pay attention to the picture because it will give you a suggestion about what you can expect in coming pages. So you can see in the picture there are two women, and you can easily, though the picture is black and white, but you can easily guess one of them is wearing, seems like African accessories, like the older lady. I'm saying older, I'm not sure. The lady on the left hand side, the lady on the left hand side seems to be a lady of color. We don't use the word black. Never refer to somebody as black and white. That's a racial epithet. You should avoid. If people are not white, you can call them people of color. Even using that people of color is derogatory, right? You should refer them by the nationality. Africans, Afro-Americans, non-white people living in America are Afro-Americans. They can be Spanish, they can be Mexicans, but they are never black. Nobody's white, nobody's black. Okay? You can even, you can't say fair complexion. No, the word fair is racial. That's why today Fair and Lovely has been renamed as Glow and Lovely. It's no more called Fair and Lovely because there was a case internationally that when you say Fair and Lovely, you are talking about a particular skin, the whiter skin, and you are discriminating against people who have non-white skin. And now the company changed it as Glow and Lovely, right? Be very careful when you speak in public media in international arena, especially in foreign countries. Never use racial expressions. So we have this Afro-American woman, let's say. Then we have another woman. Even in black and white, the camera discriminates racially, right? The camera colors one face and doesn't color the other. You can easily say this lady has fair complexion. And the two ladies, see their dresses, they are wearing different dresses. See the accessories, the head scarf. This lady has a scarf, she doesn't have a head scarf. Look, the other accessories, she has a lot of accessories in the neck and in the wrist also. And she's, this lady is examining the accessories she's wearing. And as you can see by their expression, facial expression, they're happy. They are communicating happily. So that means in this chapter, probably we are going to study about the communication between people coming from different cultures. This is the way the camera captures clearly, right? When you watch it on YouTube, you can clearly see it. Okay. Now, second thing we did, first we read the title. We made sure we understand the title. I'm doing all these things because next week when you come to present, you will do exactly what I'm doing and you will teach other lessons. So I'm demonstrating how to teach and you will come from next week, you will do the same thing. So first thing we paid attention to the title. I missed one thing before I jumped, sorry, I missed one thing. Sometimes, not always, sometimes a chapter may have a subtitle. For example, this chapter has a subtitle as you can see. What is the subtitle? Can someone tell? A writer's technique, main ideas and supporting detail. Okay, the subtitle is writer's technique. Because look this book, New Directions, Reading, Writing and Critical Thinking. This book aims to teach you three skills: the reading skills, the writing skills and critical thinking skills. Right now I'm focusing on reading skill. I'm explaining you how to read. Now it also has writing assignments. For example, a writer's technique, main ideas, let me write here, main ideas and supporting details. See, just as I stand on my two legs, 2 feet, so when I'm on my 2 feet, I'm in balance, I can stand walk properly. Writing also stands on 2 feet. There is idea in writing and there are details in writing. For example, The idea in chapter 1 is intercultural communication. What is an idea? Idea is something that can be paraphrased, explained, described at a length. At a length. Idea, you know what is idea? Everything is idea. Everything is an idea. There is a book titled The History of Ideas, 900 pages. A wonderful, serious reading. You will know intellectual history. What is the name of the book? The History of Ideas. It records how our human civilization has developed. Okay, leave that. So an idea is a thought which is so condensed and so heavily loaded that you can write a few pages explaining it. For example, see the word love. Okay. What do you understand by love? What do you understand by love?
Liking something very much.
Okay. Love is liking. Okay. Don't say the same thing. What is love for you? Caring. Caring. Okay. Love is caring. Okay. What is love for you?
Expression of affection.
Okay. Expression of affection. Okay. Okay. What is love for you down here?
Life, I guess.
Life. Okay. She says love is life. So what do you see? See the example. Love is an idea that can be explained with these examples. So love is the idea and these are details. Now you can write a paragraph. I don't know what did I write here. Life. You can write a paragraph. Love is life. A child is born only when you fall in love. So life begins with love. For example, you can compose 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs on the theme of love. So love is the idea. Life is also idea. But the difference is that the idea of life is brought as an example to define the idea of love. Everything is idea. Everything is idea. But some ideas are used as examples to explain something. What is being explained is the idea, and what you are using to explain, that is the detail. Okay, if I say road safety, I'm writing an essay on teenagers and road safety, or teenagers and bike accident. My essay is teenagers and bike accident. So the idea of my essay is teenagers and bike accident. That is the idea. Now, what is the detail? I begin the essay by saying, I might say, out of every 100 teen motorcycle riders, 16 meet with an accident every month. What I did? I brought statistics. I said, out of 100 teen bike riders, 16 meet with an accident every month. Therefore, the safety of teen bike riders is a serious issue. My sentences are details because I am bringing example through statistics. Examples can come with stories. This morning I was coming to college and I could see a young boy riding a huge bike in front of me. I was riding at 60. He passed beyond me like a wind. I could easily guess he must have been riding around 90. What I'm doing? I'm telling a story. I'm telling a story. a story can come as example. A data can come as example. I won't get into that. The point I'm making is that every text has idea and it has detail. So here in the subtitle, a writer's technique, main ideas and supporting detail. The first thing to learn about reading and writing is you should be able to identify the main idea of a paragraph or of an essay or of a chapter, and you should be able to separate supporting details from the main ideas. And for you, summarizing main ideas is more important. You can ignore details sometimes, not always, but for the exam, for learning, you always take ideas with you. You can ignore details. You can ignore examples. So you should be able to identify the main idea. For example, the main idea in chapter 1 is intercultural communication. And if you see, there are 8 readings in chapter 1. For example, look how the main idea is explained. Let me write here. Look, we have the main idea intercultural detail. The first essay is American values, assumptions. Second essay is where do we stand? Third essay is time talks with accent. Fourth essay is polite but thirsty. Fifth essay is friends and strangers. Sixth essay story is a coward. Seventh is the blind man and elephant. So what do you see? The idea of intercultural communication is explained with these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 examples. So now these are examples used to make you understand what is intercultural communication, to make you understand what problems come when you are not familiar with other culture. Right? Now, American values, it talks about how American people communicate. Where do we stand? It talks about how people around the world use public space while having public conversation. Where they come too close, where they stand apart. Time talks tells how Brazilian people use time and how Europeans use time. For Americans, time is clock, counted by seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years. For an American, you are early or late. For Brazilians, time is never counted by the clock. No two clocks in Brazil will tell you the same time, because Brazilians do not believe in time as mechanical counting of hours and days. Brazilians believe, they have this Amana attitude. What is Amana attitude? If you can do something tomorrow, never do it today. That's the Brazilian belief. If you can postpone something for tomorrow, postpone and sleep. Enjoy. So in Brazil, you are never late. You are never early. Because Brazilians don't move by clocks. Right? They move by this cultural value. Feel relaxed. And do when you have time. What do they believe? If you can do something tomorrow, never do it today. Then, polite but thirsty. Yapping tongue goes to America from China. Chinese people, They are very modest like Nepalese. In Nepali culture, when somebody offers you drink or food as a guest, then you also say, no, 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 but you want it, right? And you know that even if you say no, they will give you. So out of respect, out of modesty, you say, no, no, no. Chinese also the same habit. She went to America. The dean called her in at her home to welcome the new student. And the dean lady asked, do you want to drink cold drinks? And out of modesty, she was thirsty. But out of respect, she said, no, no, no. And the dean took it literally, no means no. And he came with a glass of Coca-Cola, and they were talking, and she was drinking, and she was thirsty without drink. And then she writes back home to her husband, polite but thirsty. Darling, this is what I faced in America. So America is not China. In China, you say no and people give you. Here if you say no, no means no. All right? Then you have friends and strangers. An American comes to Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and then he sees that what Saudis mean by friendship is quite different from what Americans mean by friendship. For an American, a friend is just a person with whom you can pass some time. For Arabians, a friend is the most trusted person in life. An Arabian will never say no to a friend. But an Arabian may fail to fulfill the promise, but they won't mind. But if you say no on the pace of an Arabian, you lose the friendship. For an American, if you say no, they won't mind. They understand you can't do that. So the idea of friendship is different in America and Arabic world, for example. Then you have a Kawar story from India, where you read about inter-caste marriages and caste system in Indian culture, how the caste system affects people's lives. We have Prema and we have Kesav. They fall in love. Prema comes from a Newar community. Kesav comes from a Brahmin community, and they have a difficult time because their parents do not approve this love affair. Right? Leave it. This doesn't work. Okay. I had another marker, I guess. Yes. New markers also don't work. Okay. Then you have the blind man and the elephant, where 6 blind people decide to learn about an elephant. They go, one touches the side, says an elephant is like a wall. One touches the tusk, says an elephant might be like a sword. One touches the tail, says an elephant might be like a rope. One touches the legs, says an elephant must be like a trunk. What is the point? Point is, if you look at something only from your cultural perspective and you ignore other people's perspective, you will never have full understanding of anything. Always look at things not only from your viewpoint, but imagine if I was a girl in this class, how would I view things? I'm a boy, I'm a man. So my viewpoint is masculine viewpoint, right? But when I'm dealing with a woman's issue, for example, then I should place myself in a place of a woman. And I should be able to imagine, had I been a girl, how would I view this thing? Then only I will have complete understanding of anything. So what I did, I gave an example of ideas and details. Example of what? Ideas and, sorry, a dirty habit, right? But I had no help. Okay. So idea, intercultural communication, details these 8 essays and poems. Now if you go inside the essay, again you will have ideas and details. Now we come to the first reading, second reading. We don't have the first reading in our course. You can read if you have interest. You will have more information about that. We have only the second reading in our course. So let us begin with that. How I wish I could technically control my desktop, and I don't know why, this how he managed it. And okay, let me check if I can do. The mouse is controlling this screen and it is not able to open the file. Okay, leave it. In the beginning days, we will have such problems because I'm also learning this new technology. So let me take you again to this picture, and I was focusing on the subtitle, main identity. If you go, so first we read the topic, we define the keywords, then we focus the subtopic, then we focus the picture. Now, below the picture, you have a paragraph commentary. This is very important because it will give you an idea what you can expect in the coming chapter. For example, read this thing. I want someone to read it out, this commentary. Sit down and read.
In this chapter, you will explore cultural differences in values, beliefs, and behaviors, and the intercultural programs that sometimes result from these differences. You will consider how people from diverse cultures regard time, express themselves verbally and non-verbally, and interact successfully.
Okay, let me write there. This paragraph that comes right on the first page of the chapter below the picture is very important because it gives you more details about what you're going to study. So what it says, in this chapter we will explore cultural differences. So we will explore cultural differences in what? In values, in beliefs, and in behavior, and the intercultural problems that sometimes result, differences, and then intercultural problem. In your copy, as I'm teaching you, your job is to photocopy this whiteboard. The way I write, you will exactly imitate in your note copy. And when my class is over, you will scan the page and mail me to prove that you have noted down. And this also brings marks for you. Please understand that each time I write on the board, you will make notes of things the way I do. So we have intercultural problems, right? That result from these differences. You will consider how people from diverse cultures regard time. Okay. Next thing. You will consider what? How people regard what? Time. How they express themselves verbally and non-verbally, and how they interact successfully. Okay. So this chapter will talk about cultural differences in three things. Values, the first reading does that, it's not in the course this time. Beliefs and behavior. Now, what kind of behavior? There is something called non-verbal behavior. Now let's focus on what is non-verbal behavior, because the first essay that we are going to study now is about non-verbal behavior. What is non-verbal behavior? Let's focus on it. Non-verbal behavior is your body language, right? Your gesture, your posture, your facial expressions, your eye contact. Non-verbal behavior is also about how you use space. Non-verbal behavior is also about how you regard time. So this essay will focus on non-verbal behavior, as we said. And let me place this camera this side because the board is not working. Okay. So this essay, Where Do We Stand, is about non-verbal behavior. And particularly this essay is about the use of space. It is about the use of space. So let's now come to the reading. Before, let me open the essay now in a book. We have the essay on page 18. So before you read the essay, look, there is something to pay attention to. If you come on page 18 of a book, it says core reading 2, Where Do We Stand? Let's write. Always carefully read the instruction and follow. Look what it says, journal writing. It says journal writing. Before you read, you will do journal writing. What is journal writing? This is your journal. Your note copy is your journal. Your note copy is a journal. And you will maintain a journal for my subject. And you will submit this journal whenever I ask for internal evaluation to check what work you have done. Look here, instruction. In your journal, free write for 10 minutes on the topic of non-verbal communication. Okay. Free writing on what? Non-verbal. What is free write? In writing, understand that reading and writing always go together. They go together. And to write, you need to read, you need to think, you need to get ideas. Before you can write, you need ideas, right? To get ideas, you need to generate ideas. And there are activities to generate ideas. How do you get ideas? By listening to your English teacher. Right now you are doing that. By reading, by listening to radio, by watching television, by imagining, thinking. Among many ways to generate ideas, one is free writing. Okay, what is free writing? It's a technique used in writing classes, and under free writing the rule is you take your paper, take a pen, and if you have a stopwatch, set 10 minutes on your watch. You should set a time. And as you start your watch, you start writing the topic. Now the topic is non-verbal communication. Now, in free writing, there are certain rules to follow. First rule is write fast. Do not stop before time. Don't worry about spelling. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about good ideas. Worry about nothing. Worry about nothing. Just write whatever comes to mind. Write whatever comes to your mind. And if you feel nothing comes to my mind, Divakar sir, what should I do? Then write, nothing comes to my mind, nothing comes to my mind. Even if that does not come, squiggle. Go like this until an idea comes, and then write. Are you clear? So take a pen, take a copy, get ready, write the heading, non-verbal communication. For 2 minutes, you will write non-stop. The rule is, when I say stop, everybody's pen will be moving. If you have no idea, squiggle. You know squiggling? Squiggling. If you have no idea, write, I have no idea, until you have an idea. Your time starts now. Go. Go. Write as fast as possible. No worry about grammar, language, nothing, spelling, nothing. No worry. Just bring out as many ideas as you can from your mind. Don't worry. Just write as fast as possible. The most important rule is writing as fast as possible. Second important rule is not stopping as you write. Please don't stop. If nothing comes, write nothing comes. Go on. The first rule is you won't stop. Everybody's pen should be moving. If no idea comes, simply say, no idea comes to my mind. My camera will stop in a few seconds. For the viewers, we have come to the end of the class. Keep writing, though my camera will stop, but you keep writing. So we stop the camera here.